Hello everyone. Um, Today we're back with grade 10 mathematics, rounding real numbers to an appropriate degree. So there are three types of rounding. There's rounding off, rounding up, and rounding down. Rounding off means we are rounding to a specific number of decimal places using the following principle, where we first identify the rounding digit. Example, the second digit if we need to round off to two decimal places, so that will be our rounding digit, and then we look at the next digit in the number. So if that number next to the rounding digit is between 0 and 4, our rounding digit stays the same. If it's between 5 to 9, then our rounding digit increases by 1. So let's have a look at an example to understand this. They say a round of 57.836 to two decimal places. First thing that you need to do is to identify the rounding digit. Secondly, we look at the number next to the rounding digit, which is on the right. Now, I will then rewrite 57,836, and they said to two decimal places, so therefore this means our rounding digit is 3. So this is our rounding digit. And then the number or the digit next to the rounding digit is a 6. So the digit next to the rounding number is between 5 and 9, which means our rounding digit 3 increases by 1, as the principle said. Now, therefore, rounding off to the two decimal places would therefore be changing that 3 into a 4, and therefore the correct answer would be, this is approximately 57,84. Now, here's another example. You say round 28,45 to the nearest whole number. One point you need to note here is that whole numbers start at what? And we've discussed this in our other video based on the number system. Whole numbers are numbers that starts at 0. So you're 0, 1, 2, all the way up. So our rounding number here from 28,45, anything that comes after 0.4, after the comma, is a decimal, so it's not a whole number. So our rounding number is the first number right before the comma of our decimal, and therefore the number next to it is a 4, and so this 8 is our rounding number or rounding digit, and then our 4 is the number next to the rounding number, and it is found between what? 0 and 4. So if a number is found between 0 and 4, the rounding digit stays the same. So therefore would say 28 is the nearest whole number, because if you may look at this as well, let's say you have a whole number line and you've got 28 here and 28.45 and 28.5 here. Let's say this one is here and this one is here. And then you have 29. Which one is closest to the next whole number, whereby the whole numbers are this one and this one? You can already see that the distance that is shortest would be from 28 to 28.45, and therefore that is why our nearest whole number is 28. And then in other cases, you may find an example like this, whereby they say round 185.295 kilometers to the nearest 1,000. So identify the rounding digit. The rounding digit here is what? It's 1,000. The number next to it is a 2, and 2 is found between 0 and 4, so a rounding number stays the same. And therefore, we can conclude that rounding this to the nearest 1,000 is 185,000. And if you were to put it in a number line, you can see that 185,295 is closest to, the 1,000 closest to it is 185,000 rather than 186,000. And then let's look at what rounding up is. If we say we are rounding up, it occurs when where we round a number up to the nearest whole number. Why do we do that? It occurs in situations, so it's in situations where we cannot have a portion of a number. Practical example. Is how many taxis will we need to transport 35 people if each taxi carries 15 passengers? Well, we can make a mathematical formula for that, which says number of taxis is equals to 35 people divided by 15, and we get something like 2.333. And we can tell that this is approximately what? 3 taxis. Why? Because you cannot have 0.33 of a taxi. And while I was teaching this, one of my learners even said, it takes 15 taxi to be full and another 15, and then the 5 is going to get into the third taxi, which makes sense. So therefore we round up to only one whole number, and therefore we're going to need 3 taxis. So total number that will be needed would be 3 intricacies and not 2.33. Let's quickly have a look at rounding down. Rounding down is where we round the number down because we cannot have leftovers. A simple example is how many movie tickets can you buy with 100 rand if each movie ticket is 17 rand. This is more or less similar to rounding up, but this is not rounding up, we are rounding down. So number of tickets is equals to 100 rand divided by 17 rand, and you get something like 5,88235. But we're looking at number of tickets here. If you're buying there, they won't give you a portion or 0.8823 ticket, or they say watch about 0.88, which is like 88% of the movie. It won't be possible. So therefore you'd have to, your money will not be enough to buy 6 tickets. So therefore we round down in this case. Round down to what? You can only afford 5 tickets, and then you're just gonna have change for snacks. So it's 5 tickets, and you'll be left with a change for maybe snacks. Okay, so thank you so much for watching our video, and please keep on liking and watching our videos and sharing to the relevant learners. Thank you.